I know that whatever I do with my life, I have you, and I'm really lucky. And I don't know why it took me this long to realize your happiness doesn't take anything away from me. It should be a given, and you deserve to feel happy. You deserve to feel alive and to feel seen. And finally, I see you.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer and credits scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared. It was about you this time.
It was. I was going to say that. I felt that.
I see you.
In my core. I see you, buddy. It's good.
You deserve happiness.
Thanks, bud. And we're back with part 2 of the breakdown of A Family Affair, which sounds like a psychological thriller. This could be. It's not.
Or porn?
Or porn. One you shouldn't Google or search for. We don't need stepbrother, stepsister stuff. Just stop doing that. So
familyaffair.gov.au.
Yeah, don't encourage people. We need to put an end to this.
Classic Nicole Kidman. Nepo baby for show.
For sure. Arnar. So 2024 Christmas movie with Zac Efron and Joey King and Nicole Kidman.
Meet Speed.
So where we leave off? We left off with
a big
with big FU. No, big,
Zoe King, Zara, Joey King, forces her boss and mother to not be lovers. They have a little a thing on set where Joey King's like, "No, I'm the associate producer now. We're gonna get you a translator. Yada yada. Here's my friend's script. She's gonna rewrite your shitty script. It's gonna be a whole thing. A lot of promises.
Making things happen.
Did we just get produced?
Done.
I think so.
So we're back at mom's house here. Mom's writing, and then we get a text from Chris about dinner. This whole text exchange, by the way, a lot of periods. I was told that when you put a period in a text message, it's not good.
Bad text etiquette, yeah.
I mean, maybe because they're a different generation, because a little bit older, but like I put periods in because I like
Zac Efron's my age. So
do you put periods in your?
Nope.
I do.
But Nicole Kidman's old. So
yeah. Older than me.
Much older than you.
Yeah.
Like another 15 years older than you.
Yeah. Which is okay.
Which is fine. 16.
16, no, too many. So a lot of periods in this text exchange. Basically, he's like, "Hey, come out to dinner," and she's like, "Okay." And she goes to the Vogue closet and checks out a bunch of dresses. So busting out the Vogue stuff. And a little closet montage. Right?
I hate how he does like the. She says no like twice, and instead of being like, "Okay, I respect your boundaries," he's like, "I'll just make a reservation just in case."
I hate that.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
I told you no.
Respect people's no. No means no.
Yeah, don't push people.
But anyway, she takes the bait and shows up.
Yeah, she shows up, and this is all from we're at the Biltmore Hotel here, and Millennium Biltmore Hotel, fancy, and empty restaurant, seen from trailer.
Yeah, she's like, what would you have done if I didn't show up? He's like, eat with the waiters. I used to work here.
Because I used to be a human.
What?
No, you didn't. Shut up. Yeah, empty restaurant. It's either you're going to get killed by the mafia or fancy dinner, I guess. Right?
Yep. I think so. And this is a secret date because we cut quick to Zara and Stella hanging out on the couch, rewriting the script. And Stella's like, "This is killing my soul. The script is a nightmare."
Yeah.
And Zara's like, "I know. Fix it, please.
Do your job."
Yeah.
And then we're back to dinner, and we're talking about dead daddy, right? Going on about that.
So much dead daddy.
He's dead. Let's move on. All right.
He's a beautiful writer. I don't care.
Yeah. Who cares?
And then Zac Efron does all his exposition backstory of like, I sort of just fell into acting. My mom died when I was young. Then my brother died when I was also young.
And then my dog died when I was also young. And this died.
And everyone around me dies. Everything I touch dies.
Yeah.
We get it. You're a curse. We get it. You suck.
Understood.
And so he does the whole thing where like, I guess I'm just trying to impress you. And she's like, well, don't worry. I'm impressed. Teehee.
Basically, she's like, yeah, what happened before can't happen again. Let's just be
Yeah.
friends. He's like, I don't have any friends.
This is when Thais said that Nicole Kidman's wearing a terrible wig, and I didn't notice it until now. But then after this point, it's all I could see.
Really?
Yeah, just an awful, awful wig.
Yeah? Wig? You think?
Super wig.
Super wig?
Yeah, and Thais wasn't alone. There's a lot of people on Reddit complaining about the Nicole Kidman's wig in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no complaints.
Yep, many complaints apparently.
So many on the street, so many complaints.
On the street, on
Big
the
complaints.
street. We're men of the people.
China's
Russ.
complaining. They're all complaining.
China.
So many complaints.
Yep.
So then, all right. So they can't do that. He's got no friends. He's like, I got famous. Everyone knew me, but no one knows me. If you know what I mean.
Exactly.
He can't be.
Let's go for a walk after dinner.
Yeah, well, they eat soup, which is you eat soup. That's what you do at dinner, right?
Bad date food. Don't eat soup on a date.
No.
You're like slurping it. And
Yeah, it gets in your beard. You know,
it gets in your beard. It always gets in your beard.
and then they go for a montage, getting to know each other walk.
Fake New York.
Fake New York, which is just a movie
She's
set.
like, where are we going for a walk? And he's like, New York.
How's New York's on? It's just
Ugh.
it's a movie set. It's so stupid.
Yeah, very frustrating.
And then they cut to they're in like a prop shop or something in the studio lot here, and then we cut to the scene from the trailer where they're drinking Pacificos and chatting away and getting to know each other. And she's like, "Yeah, you play the same guy and everything. Why is that okay?" And he's like, "Well, I mean, that character made me who I am, so it's okay." But he's like, "It's the reason why anyone cares about me." Oh, oh,
And then he quotes her book to her, which she's impressed about, and or maybe it's like a poem or something. I don't know. It's stupid. It's something about being an island, and she's like, we've all been the island, we've all been the ships, and really, life's just a dance to be neither.
yeah.
It's so pretentious.
Writers, am I right?
God, I hate them.
So pretentious.
Yeah, buy Russ's book, Host, wherever you can buy books.
That's right. You want to hear something that's not pretentious? Read my book.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
last episode we did a lot of episode plugs. This episode we're doing Russ plugs.
Russ plugs. That's fun.
That was your nickname in high school.
That's right. Russ plugs.
Russ plugs.
Russ plugs what? Everything. All right. So then they start making out. And she's like, hey, there's some rules. One, no lying. And two, don't break my heart. My achy breaky heart. Those seem obvious. Those seem like fair rules. Those don't feel like rules. It just feels like, just don't do those things.
Just don't do those things.
Pretty obvious. So this is about the halfway point, and we come back to Mom's house. Mom gets home late. Zara's up. She's on her laptop. She's like, oh, so where were you? Mom's lying.
You get a nice night moon transition in between here, like to bring it back to your pitch.
Yeah, Christmas
Like a
Prince.
Prince.
Yeah. It was a nice one. And then, so Mom comes clean. She's like, I went to dinner with Chris, basically to tell him like things were off, but she doesn't tell him that they get it on, that they made out. They made out, but they're sexy time.
Instead of not telling her, she explicitly lies about it. She's
Yes.
like, that's it, right? You just had dinner, and she's like, yep.
Yep. See ya. And then
Then we get a phone call, mini montage thing here.
Mom talks to Kathy. Zara talks to her friend. We're just getting advice from everyone. I think everyone's like, can you two just grow up?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, you have your backyard's a beach. Did I mention that? It's an ocean.
Right. And I do have a little bit of appreciation here for Malcolm and Grandma's boyfriend, because they have, Grandma's boyfriend has no lines, and Malcolm has one line later, but those guys collected a paycheck for this. And they're in this scene literally sitting there being silent for Grandma's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And sleeping, pretending to be asleep for
I can do that so well. Hey, Hollywood, if you want to hire me, you want me to hire me to sleep? I can do
I will sleep next to anyone.
Anyone.
That's right. That's right.
So then we get a fancy Corvette driving transition shot. Beautiful West Coast there, right? Coastal highway. I mean, I know we were shitting on California Part 1, but I mean, can't beat the beach. Am I right? Can't beat that
highway,
ocean.
yeah.
That ocean's beautiful.
You sure can't.
I mean, the Atlantic is probably, cooler, but
Hmm.
Just saying.
uh,
All right, so then we're at Chris's house. And we do a little montage,
oh yeah,
and
big montage here. This one
Chris,
takes forever.
yeah, Chris and Mom doing things. They're on a beach. They're on a
Yep.
beach with a fire.
Making
They're
out,
dancing on the house deck. They're making out. Chris is
more beach.
grilling with his shirt open. Who grills with their
Yep.
shirt open? Close your shirt.
Grilling while she's reading.
Yeah. I mean, I guess people can do things while you're grilling, but I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just also.
Don't show it in a movie. What a waste
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah. What was them walking on a beach, playing
Holding
backgammon.
hands.
Yeah. Playing a little backgammon, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep. Sport of Kings.
and then beach sunset makeout sesh. So
Yep.
then we're,
Gross.
then we're back on the movie set, and Zara's talking to the French director, and Chris is acting
Yeah.
and doing his thing.
Chris really likes it when you're a little mean to him. So I'll translate for you, but in case you are concerned about it, I'm going to make it a little meaner, just so you know. Just a heads up. I'm going to make it kind of mean.
So this whole bit and joke doesn't really make any sense because
No.
earlier in the movie she was talking to the French director in English, and the French director understood her.
Yeah. Well, the French director speaks English fine,
Yes,
but prefers to speak French.
sure. 2 seconds later, after Zara's like, "I'll translate whatever," it's the three of them literally having a conversation. The director is speaking in French to Chris, and Zara's right there translating it incorrectly and saying something else. Like this
Because
joke.
that's what she said she was going to do.
Yeah, but like the translate doesn't.
I know. It's dumb. I hate it too, but
Okay.
it makes sense in universe, I think.
Okay, yeah. Logically, though. Okay. So then he's doing an ice bath because we do that. That's how we prep for the show.
Always, yeah. Well, so
20
while
minutes
he's
pass.
translating, the only important bit to take away there was Zara is yelling at him about how he treats women, and
Yes.
because of the mom situation. That's
Right.
the key takeaway.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, I like this director. She's good." Ugh. But anyways, then it's the ice bath.
She's like, "Oh, do you have you're going to go to this benefit, whatever?" And he's like, "Oh, do you have my +1?" And he's like, "Oh, she's like, I just need a name." And he's like, "If they're with me, they don't need a name." I thought that was kind of
Yeah, a
ruthless.
little bit risky. Yeah.
A little risky.
And we do get a little bit of a sense here. This is when they start to rebuild Chris's character. When they talk about Stella's script, and Stella had talked about the script earlier, in which we didn't cover, but it's basically like it's a queer coming of queer dramedy thing that we talked about briefly. But originally, Zara wanted Chris to play the dad in that movie, and the dad wasn't really a main character, and so she talked her friend Stella into like writing more about the dad to have Chris more in the movie. And this is when Chris is like, "Oh yeah, I loved that script. It was great, but too many scenes with the dad. It's not his story to tell." And you're like, "Oh, maybe he's growing and learning and being a better person."
Maybe.
Hard to say.
Doubt it.
We'll find out the rest of the movie.
Soon, coming to a theater near you.
No.
So then we're back at Mom's house here, right? And Zara and her friends show up. Mom's being a little cagey, and she's like, "Okay, see you girls later," and she leaves because she's going to meet up with Chris, right?
Yeah.
Because she's going to go to the gala, the climate change gala.
Yep, exactly. And so Zara and Jeannie have a whole scene where they're talking about like, I can't believe, I don't know, something about being a writer. I don't care about any of this.
Yeah, and then she goes on about the associate producer role is kind of bullshit, which yes, it is.
Yeah.
Camatis associate producers. Tell me what you do.
We know 60% of our listeners associate producers.
Right.
And meanwhile, Jeannie's like, shut up. I want more wine. Wine me, please.
Wine it up. And Zara goes up to Mom's room and she finds the script and Mom was doing some edits on it.
Yup. And also realizes that Mom went to this event and was like, "Shave your armpits. We're going out."
That's usually what I tell you when we're heading out. I'm like, "Shave your armpits, buddy. We're going out."
Grease up, buddy.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. So then we cut to climate change gala. And there's this whole bit about them trying to get into this gala, which is kind of annoying. It's just kind of annoying. It's really dragged out. And the publicist shows up and they get in. It's just like this whole thing for comedy.
You're not
sake.
on the list. I am on the list. Yada, yada. They
Yada.
pretend that Jeannie is Chris's nutritionist, which I was like, why is that the cover?
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's very upsetting.
And then they get in, and Zara
Immediately
walks.
find Chris and Brooke making out in a corner.
Hell yeah, that's what you do when you're at Climagallas, right? You make out,
Oh, if I had a nickel.
right? You're like, forget this climate. Let's make out. Let's turn up the heat in here. Am I right?
Global warming. Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, let's start here. All right. So then,
And they have a big fight
yeah,
because
it's a
she
big fight.
confronts them immediately. Instead
Yeah.
of being playing it cool like a normal person, Zara's like, "Oh, I didn't realize that as soon as I show up anywhere, you guys are start making out. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool."
Cool.
And then they have a whole thing about like, "I didn't realize I was such a burden on you," because Zara's always trying to make it about her, and Mom's just like, "I want to live my life. I'm banging this guy, and he's cute," and Zara warns her many times. He uses women. He's a bad person. She says he's not right, and that's when she drops that bombshell from the trailer. "I haven't felt like this since your father."
Ooh.
Joey King
Not having it.
having it. Nope, screaming. "Do
Oof.
I even matter to you?"
Wow, like a brat.
Ooh, super brat, but she is right.
Just being a little bratty about it. And we cut to a short montage of her being sad and Zara going in to stay at her friend's house.
Yep, exactly.
And then we're at mom's house.
Then we get more split screen phone call talk. Mom
yeah.
and Chris chit chat. Maybe we'll see each other after the holiday. What about New Year's? Mom's like, "Look, I got to take care of my daughter."
Listen, bro. Listen.
Yeah, it's
Back
not going to
off.
work out.
Yeah.
Like the right call the whole time.
Correct.
And then they're like, "Have a nice Christmas." And then he says, "Love you."
Ooh.
Whoops. Bye.
Yikes. End call.
Yeah. But then calls back immediately and says, "Actually, can I come over and let's bang?"
Let's do
And
it.
she's like, "Fine."
She's like, "Arr, nar.
Yes.
Arr, yes." And we're at the friend's house. Zara's going on about mom and Chris, basically just selfish little brat, complaining about this. The friend's like, whatever. And then,
Well, the friend is like, "You're right. It's your mom and your boss. That is weird. You have every justification here."
yeah. And then the dude there, the boyfriend there,
Malcolm.
he's like, yeah, maybe it's not about you.
Yeah. Oof.
Oof.
Which is the message the movie's trying to sell. But at the same
Nail?
time,
Hammer. Got it.
yeah, I think so. Except for he's wrong because banging the boss is weird. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
sleep with your kid's boss.
No, it's weird. That's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So everyone's wrong.
Pretty much. And then
And then this is where we also get the little hint that Malcolm and Jeannie are not okay because they're like,
Right.
"Oh, what are you guys doing for Christmas?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to my parents' house alone."
Yikes.
And nobody asks because Zara can't think about anyone but herself.
She's like, whatever. I don't give a shit about you two.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Have fun by yourself.
And then we cut to the big bear cabin here, somewhere in California where it snows.
Yep, Kathy Bates' cabin, which a writer going to Kathy Bates' cabin
Yikes.
has always ended well.
And let's just say kneecaps are about to get busted. So they're doing
It's
Christmas
more of an
trees.
ankles thing.
Yeah, more ankles thing. Doing some Christmas tree stuff. Her and grandma there making mom and grandma making a tree up and all stuff from the trailer.
Yeah, she's like flirting with him vicariously through her. Like, "Oh yeah, I bet he's really sexy, right?"
Yeah, like,
Yeah. Like, Kathy Bates,
settle down.
take a shower. Take a cold shower.
Seriously.
Academy Award winning Kathy Bates.
Take
This is what it's come to.
Yeah, this is where we're at. Okay. So then Zara shows up and grandma and her talk while they make a bed. And
Yeah, they're complaining. She's like, she compared him to dad. And she's like, "Yeah, I know. He's my son who's dead."
yeah.
Like, quit thinking about yourself for a second here.
Yeah, because she's going on about how Chris is like self-absorbed and selfish, and grandma's basically like, yeah, so are you. Basically. Again, we get it called out to us, the audience.
Yeah. She's like, "What if Chris makes her happy? Isn't that important to you?" And she's like, No, it's my mom. I don't care if she's happy." You're like, "Oh, well, there you go."
Okay. Jerk kid. Well, that's what you get. So, and then, yeah, we're, grandma gives some advice, right?
Yeah.
Stuff from the trailer.
Oh, it's not advice. It's like if you can't be a grown up and fake it, just suck it up.
Well, she tells her she's like yeah, well, you know what, she's your mother, but she also might be a woman, so it's like
Right.
just let her do her thing, settle down. And she's like, yeah, buck up, kid, and why don't you grow up, buck up and grow up, or move out. And we get a little holiday kind of mini montage. Chris shows up. Yeah, Chris and mom laughing on the deck. Ha 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 ha! Their jokes are so funny. And then
Zara sees it.
Yep.
And she's like, "Oop, guess maybe this isn't as bad as I thought."
Yep. And then we got grandma and mom having some fancy dinner drinks there after they have dinner.
Wait, you're skipping dinner?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Dinner table.
You're skipping over Christmas dinner?
Yeah, grandma just tells some stupid story about her being in the desert, and that's it. And Chris is like, "Oh, I
with
love you
no
guys."
Water? That's the craziest thing anyone's ever heard.
I know, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. You're right. But also, where's grandma's boyfriend? Like, why wasn't he invited to Christmas?
Because grandma gets around.
Yeah, grandma's a legend.
But I guess it's important.
Anyway, everyone's happy that he's here. They're celebrating him.
And I guess a good point too. Chris is like, "Hey, this is awesome. I love hearing that story. I love being a part of something and having a family. This feels genuine." Yep. So that's
and Zara's kind of bought in now. She's like, "Oh, maybe Chris isn't so bad after all."
Yeah, maybe he's flipped a leaf. You know,
TBDB.
Won't last. And then we're blah, 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 blah. And then
they're having drinks after dinner here, which they're cheersing chamomile like it's alcohol. I was a little bit confused by this scene because they're like cheers and she's like, oh, it's chamomile, but they like take a shot of it and you're like, sometimes that's what you gotta do. You gotta do a shot of chamomile. Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what they do in Eastern Europe.
Oh, Eastern Europe, where Nicole Kidman is from.
That's right.
No. Listeners, is it getting old yet? Send us an email.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna do it anyway. Oh wait, before we continue.
Yes.
Because I forgot, and then we're almost halfway through.
I was gonna say you remembered something you almost forgot.
That's right. I remembered random facts that I forgot in the last two episodes. 2 part twos.
We're working on it.
Because we're having fun again. I feel like we started doing the facts because it was like, part 2 is a little draggy. I feel like this time part 2's been cranking, but we should still make room for facts. And so this time I have facts about writing.
Oh, okay.
Of interest to you.
Maybe.
Russ Capasso, host, wherever you get my books.
Pretentious author. Absolutely. Let's go.
That's right. Did you know?
Of course I did.
Did you know?
Of course I did.
The QWERTY keyboard.
Yep.
Familiar with from the 19th century, 1800s.
I remember it fondly, as if it was my.
Yeah, you're familiar. You know a QWERTY keyboard when you see one.
Obviously.
Most keyboards.
Yeah.
Do you know why it is the way it is?
No, tell me.
So because apparently early typewriters were prone to jamming if you typed too quickly.
Yeah.
Like when the letters are in an order that makes sense.
Yep.
And so they scrambled them all up to make typing more difficult so that you would slow down and not jam the typewriter.
Yes.
So the QWERTY keyboard that we all type on today is designed to make you type slower.
Interesting. Yeah, it's stupid.
Why do we keep that? What a bad design.
No, maybe it's a good
one.
But it made sense.
150 years ago. Yeah.
At the time, yeah. And then it just kind of stuck. That's fun. I like that one.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. That's so courteous.
I'll have more?
It's up to you. I remember. It's up to you. It's up to you, really, at this point. I'm not going to force you. So.
No. I'm going to force it.
Okay. So.
Don't worry.
So then we mom and grandma here have a heart to heart, and mom opens up more about Charlie, the dead dad, and about how he wanted a divorce and things weren't going too well towards the end. And grandma was like, "Oh, why didn't you say anything?" And mom's like, I
"Wait,
don't know.
What?
Yeah,
like you can't just drop bombshells like that.
Dropping them. You deal with it. You deal with the aftermath.
They're having problems. Yeah."
Yeah, and then mom basically is like, "Yeah, I'm into Chris," and doesn't. She's like, "I don't want to need him because if and when it does end, it'll hurt."
Exactly.
So, Kathy gives some Oscar-nominated advice, and
Oscar-winning.
Oscar-winning. So, jeez. Sorry, Oscar-winning advice here, and she's like, "It doesn't matter. Tomorrow will come no matter what."
Nailed it.
Basically, long and short. And then
Kathy.
we cut over to Zara, and she's listening in the background. And she's like, oh,
She was
maybe
listening the whole time.
the whole time.
What a creep.
Christmas
Then we
morning.
cut to Christmas morning. Grandma gets a scarf.
Let's get some
Bad
gifts.
present.
Bad
Bad
present.
present.
Yeah.
And then Zara gets like, like a movie chair back. What is that called? Do you know what it's called?
Yeah, it's a movie chair back with her title
Yeah,
on it.
a movie chair back with your title on it from
Yeah.
Chris.
That's all it's called, right?
Associate producer. What a title.
Man, bullshit title.
Blech.
Yeah. And then Chris got mom there a nice book of all of her short stories and stuff like that. And collect them
Own
together.
Writing. Can you imagine if someone gave you your own writing for Christmas? I feel like you'd be pissed.
I'd be pissed. If someone just handed me my own book, I'd be like, you kidding?
Thanks.
No, not even that. I'd be like, get out.
Go
Out. You know where the door is? Find it.
Krampus for you.
That's right. Cole. And then Chris is, he's just being nice. He's being good. And they're all leaving here, packing up. And then Zara notices that one of his suitcases is a little unzipped. And she goes prying in
Yep.
and
Into
finds
the
the earrings.
signature breakup earrings.
You just got to do it sometimes.
Yep. Finish them.
Finish them. So we go to mom's house. And Zara gets home, and Chris and mom are chatting about New Year's Eve in the background. She comes in the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't been out on New Year's in years.
Yeah.
And then they're like, should we get Thai food? Should we all just be a family and get Thai food together since we're a family now?
I'm your new daddy. That's basically what
Yep.
Chris is saying.
And Zara's like, well, Mom, I don't think Chris should stay after all because he almost had me fooled, but he's still a dirtbag. And here's all the reasons why. He makes me write apology letters. Yeah, got him. He does all kinds of bad things to me.
Yeah.
He fires me all the time.
Yeah. If Chris married her mom and he would be his boss, he would be her boss and her stepfather, meaning he could fire and ground her at the same time.
That's right. Boss daddy.
Jesus, don't Google that. So
Or by Russ Capasso.
No, that's not. Son of a.
Hey, I'm helping you.
Yeah, it's true. So then she's going on about like he makes me buy $500 lotion from Japan for his elbows, and he's like, I got eczema there.
I like my elbows greasy.
Calls him out about the earrings. Showed that whole thing, New York Street. Yeah. She's like, hey, did he take it to New York Street? And it's like a whole thing, right?
Yeah,
all part of his shtick, part of his move. And then, they ask him to leave. He leaves. He's like,
he's like, that's not true. I bought that as a Christmas gift before I thought of the book idea. It's a whole thing. I didn't know what to get you. And then Zara's like, did he take you to New York?
Yes.
And she's like, how'd you know about that? Because I'm usually the one who calls to have that arranged.
Yeah, because I'm his assistant. Yikes. It was messy, and mom's like, yeah, you know what? That was kind of messy and kind of just the wrong way to do that. And you know what?
Way to humiliate me.
Yeah, it seems like mom is just disappointed with her. So our hero,
everyone storms out.
Hero is at the bottom of the barrel here. And then we cut to the friend's house, and Zara comes over to Jeannie's place there, and she just comes in and is all about her. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of bottoms, we all know Mark Twain's real name was Samuel Clemens, right?
That's right.
But do you know where Mark Twain comes from?
Roger Clemens' father.
That's right. That's right. Famously.
I think I do, but
all right. Well, so
isn't it like a measuring thing in the river or something like that?
You're good. Yeah.
Mark Twain. Twain is like a distance in like measuring the river or something.
You're a kid in King Arthur's court in Connecticut, as we all know.
Obviously.
Just like Mark Twain. I went to his house recently and learned this fun fact that, it means Mark Twain means 2 fathoms deep, which is about 12 feet, which is a safe depth for riverboats from his time as a riverboat captain on the Mississippi.
There you go. I love that one. That's fun.
Thanks.
See, I know shit.
You do. You know shit. You know shit about
Yep, that's true. I know shit about shit. So, all right, cool. That's a fun one. So then we're friend's house. Friend is like, hey, can you just settle down here? She's like, oh, where's the bro? And she's like, yeah, we broke up. And you've been so busy worrying about yourself, talking about yourself that you never had time to listen to me, yada, yada, yada. So I'm reinforcing the fact that she's selfish.
But I am exhausted by you. And I can't anymore.
You don't mean that, do you? You're not saying that to me.
No, to you. No. I'm saying this. If I were if I were Jeannie talking to Zara.
Right. That's what.
Mhm,
Okay. I
mhm.
just want to make sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's so self
we're
centered.
good.
Yeah, we're good.
You
Okay.
deserve happiness.
Thanks,
Yeah.
bud. I see you. Oh, and we get a sad montage.
Yep.
We got
We're
Zara
gonna have a
driving,
montage.
crying, which you shouldn't drive while you're crying. Just a heads
You
up.
shouldn't. No. But she has nowhere else to go except Kathy Bates' house.
Well, yeah.
We should all be
So,
so lucky.
but then she stays with her Chris's maid, though.
Um,
She like pops in
you
there,
sure?
like yeah. There's like a scene of her like walking into like the maid's house.
Oh, I thought the maid just also worked for Kathy Bates.
Maybe they do. It's just Kathy Bates.
Hard to say. Hard to say. She gets around. She gets around.
We got mom on her fancy deck, her outside area that overlooks the
Yeah.
beautiful Pacific Ocean there. Chris on his
Sad.
fancy deck. I can't relate to any of these
Also
people.
overlooking the
Sad.
ocean. Yeah. Just sad
Mom,
ocean looking.
yeah. I mean, that's what you do, right? You're sad when you look at the ocean. Mom in bed thinking. Zara and the maid folding laundry.
Chris playing guitar for some reason.
Yeah, and then we're watching a pre-recorded ball drop because, they're on the West
We all do.
Coast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Chris is reading about Icarus finally with the
Yep.
dogs.
Yep.
And then Zara shows up with a bag of groceries to Jeannie's house. And
A bag of groceries
apparently it's an apology groceries.
and a 6-pack of Miller Lite. Dude, if you have to come in and apologize to me and you show up with Miller Lite,
I'll show up with
I'm not
Narragansett.
I'm not letting you in.
Fair enough.
Miller Lite is apology beer?
Yeah, it's not great.
No. Show your friends
Brought
you
to you
care.
by Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. Show your friends that you care.
Show your friends you care. That's right. And the super bitch pin from earlier,
That's right.
foreshadowed,
It's all coming back.
because she's a super bitch too. Everyone's a super
Super
bitch.
bitch. Yep.
Ick bitch?
Ick bitch. Oh.
Is that?
No. No. So they all watch the ball drop in separate locations here, and then mom texts her and is like, "Hey, happy New Year! I love you, yada yada yada." It's somewhat okay.
Everyone loves you too. It's a nice thing. Mom and daughter back together again. And it's a new day. It's a new dawn.
Because you know what, tomorrow's always going to just come. It's just going to be here. So,
New
Kathy
life,
Bates,
new me.
That's
Yeah,
right.
feeling good.
So we're at the studio soundstage again here, and we've got a problem. And Zara shows up to Chris's trailer, and she's like, "What are you doing, bro? Just go make your millions acting. Like, just do your job, would you?"
And he's like, "What business do I have playing a good guy? Everyone I care about won't even talk to me anymore."
Yeah. He's like, "I'm such a bad
great
guy."
point.
Yeah. And she's like, "No,
You
you're
suck.
fine. You're not that terrible."
My mom's going to teach at Princeton, so like it works out fine for all of us that she's leaving us forever.
Yep.
And yeah, and he explains again. He's like, "No, look, the earrings were just earrings this time. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to do that. I just wanted to make her feel good.
Yep.
I actually forgot about them, and like I can't go anywhere without photographers. That's why I went to New York on the lot, because that's the only place I can go to be peaceful and think by myself." And she's like, "Oof, I really messed that up, didn't I?"
Yeah.
She kind of realizes finally. He was different with her mom, right? Like,
Yeah. And
they were falling
basically
in love.
they have a come to Jesus moment, and they seem like they've mended things, and things are good between them.
Yep. And she's good at that producer thing, because she's also like, "Get back to work, please."
Yeah. And they
We just
got
had a heart to heart, but get back to work.
Yeah, get back to work. I love you, but get back to work. And they got a cool handshake, so that's fun.
True. That is fun.
Back at mom's house, mom's cleaning out the Vogue closet, packing things up. And Sarah shows up. She's like, "Hey, why'd you take the Princeton job?" And she's like, "I just need to get out of here and start over, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah. I don't have to write for a while. It's
Long story
exhausting.
short, I didn't take a ton of notes here, but long story short, they basically clear the air. And they're like, "Yeah, we're good, right? I love you." And then we cut to the grocery store, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we gloss over that whole scene, so that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there? I mean, is there anything else important
There's
there?
not much. That's what they do the whole speech. Like I gave Russ at the beginning of like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I realize you are a person, Mom, and your happiness is important. Everybody's crying. What about Chris? We got to go back to real life. That's over and done with. Mom is seems like moved on, but Zara's gonna force it now.
Yep.
They have like a little driving montage around the cliffs again.
Yep.
And then we cut to Chris and Zara arguing in the grocery store. Or arguing in the grocery store parking lot, brought to you by Toyota.
And this grocery store is ridiculous. I don't know what grocery stores look like this, but I guess that's a California thing.
Yeah,
And Chris goes in. He's like, "Wow, no one's notices me. No one's paying attention to
Erewhon
me."
or something.
Erewhon?
Yeah, it's a fancy grocery store in LA.
I don't even know what that is. So
Yeah. Trust me. Laurel knows.
Any place that has like horned mango or horned fruit or whatever, yeah, that's too much. You don't need that.
Horned melons, which are
Horned
good for
melons, that's it.
dementia.
Yeah.
Brought
No
to you by
one
dementia.
never forget. So, that's what it is there. All right, so then grandma and mom show up, and basically this has been set up. Zara set this. She's producing right now. Okay.
Yeah.
She set up this meet cute between mom and Chris again. They're in. Yep. He's a dummy. He pulls the bottom avocado.
Yeah. Don't you want some of those organic avocados you like?
Obviously. And like a dummy, he pulls from the bottom, and they all fall. He's picking them up, and then mom's in there getting a horned melon, and they spot each other.
Yep.
And
more like horny melon.
Am I
right? And then Zara does a whole big speech about how, no, I was wrong and I'm sorry. And you guys deserve a real shot at a relationship together. And mom's like, wait, did you just produce us?
Boom.
Produced. And Chris complains again, explains that he spent his whole life taking people for granted and he's an island of one, but he doesn't want to be an island of one anymore, from her book, right? Or poem or whatever it was. Who cares? And then they kiss, but like kind of reluctantly. And they're like, well, it's kind of a long shot, but like whatever. And Zara's like directing the kiss of like, oh yeah, make the rain go. And it's like the sprinklers on the vegetables, and grocery store management's in cahoots here.
Terrible. Yeah. And the manager's like, what, can you get out of here? We got a grocery store to run.
Get out of my store. Yeah. But apparently this is a set and there's extras, and that's because Chris was wondering, why isn't everyone recognizing me and paying attention to me?
Yeah.
Well, because we paid them.
Yeah.
And this is all fake.
It's all fake.
And so we cut to outside, they kiss, and that's kind of the end of that. Paparazzi waiting.
Yeah. Zara leaves the grocery store, and this woman's like, is Chris Cole in there? And she's like, nope, just my mom and her boyfriend.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Ick bitch. Then we zoom in on the ick bitch license plate again.
For some odd reason.
Yep.
And then
there's a montage of mom teaching at Princeton. I was confused by this part. I was like, wait, so they went through with it?
I didn't even catch that part. I just saw that they...
Yeah, and it's like... Yeah. It's when Stella is directing. So like the mom is teaching and Stella is doing her directing finally with her script that she got produced.
Right.
Zara is producing said script. Everyone's happy and successful. And then we cut to Zara's office.
And then we get a 1 year later title card in here too, next in there.
Right. Yeah.
Mom's reading. She's reading a book on NPR. Right. She's reading like a passage of her book at NPR.
Gotcha. Okay. It's a book reading, not a teaching.
Podcasting. We got an assistant. So now Zara's got an assistant, and she's in her office running things.
She's a bad boss.
Yeah,
she's
really bad.
Immediately bossing around this new person like Chris used to boss her around. Terrible.
Yeah.
Don't pay it forward.
That's how it works. You just
you
shit down the hill. That's all.
Never shit uphill.
If you can. Do that. And then and then Chris comes in and they're like, yeah, you got to be here at some late night or whatever, blah, blah. And he makes some weird mom joke.
Yeah. Well, she's like, you never stay awake all night. Like, it's a night shoot. Are you ready for that? And he's like, haha, that's not what your mom said. And she's like, what? Get out.
Leave.
And then they say, see you tonight. Love you too. Because they love each other now.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the end. Love you too is the last line.
That's it.
Silly.
Stepdad to stepdaughter. Woof.
Should we ameliorate?
Let's do it, man.
Cut that. Cut the whole thing.
Cut the whole thing.
Half the movie.
Chop it in half.
Yep, shut it down.
Cut all the montage things out. Make this movie an hour and 32 minutes. Like, that's it.
Make it a short. Make it a 15-minute short.
Don't even make it.
I get it. Don't make it.
Don't even make it. Yeah. Don't even make it. This feels like an obligation to Netflix. It feels like someone was in contract with Netflix and like, yeah, let's just pump out a movie. It's like the Adam Sandler thing where it's like, cool, sign me up for 6 movies. I'll just write garbage because it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter.
Give Joey King a big contract. Whatever.
Yep. Done and done.
Give me more Joey King. I don't know. She was probably the best part of this movie other than
probably
Zac Efron's 1 or 2 funny lines.
More Kathy Bates, more Oscar winning.
More Academy Award winning Kathy Bates.
Yeah, Academy Award winning. Like maybe make her like torture the family or something.
Yeah. Hobble Chris Evans. Chris Evans. Wouldn't that be funny? Chris Cole, Zac Efron.
Right. Yeah.
Break his ankles.
Yeah, break his ankles. Right.
Yeah.
Make him work for it.
Mhm.
What else?
Don't cast Nicole Kidman in this movie.
You
I
just
feel like she
don't.
had no chemistry with Zac Efron. Like
Yeah, no, no, not really at all. I watched a
they didn't work
short.
together.
I watched a short interview. My nose is just running right now. I watched a short interview with them, the three of them, and there was like the chemistry was just non-existent. It was a very weird
Yeah,
interview. It was just like,
yeah.
the three of you even?
What a nightmare.
Yeah, absolute nightmare.
Speaking of nightmares, please shut it down.
Yeah, unless you have one more fact to give us before we shut it down.
Thanks for reminding me. I do have one
Yeah.
more fact before we shut it all down. Uh, did you know that the exclamation point was originally called Note of Admiration
Oh, yeah.
back from the 15th century?
Did not know that.
Yeah, strange, huh? Strange
Huh.
but true.
I will not fact check you on that because I believe you.
Nope, that's right. Don't fact check. Yeah,
Okay.
don't never check.
Never check. Just believe what you see. Okay. So yeah, well, I think we're gonna wrap up this family affair.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with a new movie and a trailer trash. In the meantime, you can go follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That, where you're subscribed to us wherever you're listening and set us to auto download wherever you do that. And if you have friends in Australia or California, share us with them because
Please.
we do accents and we make fun of places, and that's fine.
Arr.
Arr.
And if you don't have any friends, that's okay.
That's right.
Friends aren't for everyone.
Nope.
Just scream into the void online, like you are allowed to do. Like we are allowed to do.
Yeah, do it anonymously and just whatever.
Yeah. Write a review, Apple Podcasts or something. 5 stars. Oh, these guys are so funny.
Hilarious.
Arnar, the way they do. Australian.
Accents.
Love it.
Love
Can't
it.
beat it.
Can't beat it
Yeah.
with a kangaroo stick.
Can't beat it with a didgeridoo.
Like didgeridoo.
Speaking of things you shouldn't do, you shouldn't not send us an email. Send us one of those, please.
Yeah.
Sesmeaside@gmail.com.
Love
Or go to our website where there's 300 plus episodes, merch, buy t-shirts. That's the best way to support us. Information about the show, information about Russ's book Host, which isn't there, but you should buy it anywhere, wherever you buy books.
Do it.
All that jazz. All that. It's thismeetsthat.com.